Morning, folks. Welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. My name is Bruce Dickey. I do appreciate you joining us this morning. My guest today will be Chris Simpson. We'll get to him in just a little bit. He is the assistant superintendent in Richland County Schools. So we'll talk to Chris about all kinds of different things when we return. In about 10 minutes or so. Can you hold off for about 10 minutes?
I can hold off. Yeah.
You sure?
I'm good.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
All right. I'm just making sure because I've got things to talk about here.
Okay.
Got a few things need to cover.
All right. I'll just sit still, and when you start asking me questions, I'll be ready to go.
Well, I will probably ask you the occasional question from time to time here during this.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, well, that's good to know. Well, welcome back to Happy Wednesday here from Big Talk. It is Wednesday, May 16th, and you're watching on Wabash Catch TV as well as in Salem on Channel 3 on Wabash, and here in Flora and in Louisville, also on Channel 25 and 100, and I heard in Olney on Channel 15, so we do appreciate all you folks watching out there. Thanks very much. What's going on today? Well, that National Nursing Home Week continues down at the Sisney Rehab and Healthcare Center, and today they're having a couple of events. At 9:30 this morning, it's going to be a needlework show, so you better be on your way there. Also today at 5:15, which seems a little late, the Wayne County Misfits will have a car show, and I just hope they don't get a ton of bugs on their vehicles driving around that late.
It's that time of year.
It is that time of year. What else is going on at the Flora Rehab and Healthcare Center, also celebrating Nursing Home Week. It is a community bingo and a rehab to home reunion cookout. So that'll be a big time. That starts this afternoon, actually this morning at 10 o'clock for the bingo, and the cookout will go at from 12 to 2. So do check that out. Dave Dillon and friends will be at the Heritage Woods today, and that's going to start around 1 o'clock, go till 2. Should be a good time. Also at Heritage Woods, the Mennonite Cottage meeting will take place. That's tonight at 7 o'clock. The food handler training class, always a good thing with fairs coming up as well as summer and outside stuff. You might need to make sure your food handling license is up to date so you don't get anybody sick. That'll be at the Clay County Health Department in Flora today from 4:30 to 6:15. Or if you'd like to register, give them a call at 662-4406. What is on television tonight? Lots of stuff. It's the final night. Did you ever watch Designated Survivor with Kiefer Sutherland?
I have never seen the show.
Have you ever heard about it?
I have heard of the show, but I've never watched it.
It's like where the plane flies into the
right.
Capitol.
He's like the last man standing.
And he's the only one there.
He's
the only one not there.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, he's not going to be president anymore. It's the last show. It's the series finale tonight of Designated Survivor. That's at 9 o'clock on ABC. Also tonight, Survivor. This is Survivor Night, 7 o'clock on CBS. Also, Modern Family is going to be on at 8 o'clock. That's ABC. The Americans, getting down to it right now. I think there's only 3 or 4 shows left. Stan is getting suspicious of the Americans, so that's something to watch on FX tonight. That'll be at 10 o'clock. Also on IFC, I believe it's at 10 o'clock as well, maybe 9:30. Brockmire. That's an outstanding show. Have you watched Brockmire? You don't watch television.
I don't watch a lot of television.
Do you watch any television at all other than sports?
I really don't watch a lot of sports either. I'll have. If it's sports, I'll watch the Cardinal game. But no, I don't watch a lot of television. I'm out and gone a lot. So
NBA?
I like to watch NBA. I watched a little bit last night, the Celtics and Cavs.
Yeah.
So that was...
We'll get to that a little bit later, too, because you have some NBA things you really were seriously wanting to cover today. As my device has timed out on me. So
well, your viewers have just immediately decided this is not the program for them because they're like
So, boy, since we're talking about the
To
NBA,
listen to the two of us talk about the NBA.
it's not going to be for a while. It'll be.
Stay tuned then.
We'll have a lot of good stuff before we do talk about the NBA. Also, today, a lot of sports going on. It is the Chicago White Sox at Pittsburgh. That'll be this morning, starting at 11:30. That's on NBC Sports Chicago, channel 643 for your viewing entertainment. Also, the Cardinals playing this afternoon, trying to see if they can beat those 27 Yankees. I mean, the Minnesota Twins. Miles Michaelis on the mound versus Lance Lynn facing the Cardinals for the first time. That'll be at noon today. Fox Sports Midwest, channel 630. You got to figure that I don't think that game will be close. I think it's either going to be a Cardinal blowout or a Twins blowout, because Lance Lynn might be just so pumped up and fired up.
Yeah, you never know with Lance Lynn.
You just never know.
He could be really good, or he could give up 5 runs in the first inning.
That's exactly right. Anything is possible. Also, interestingly enough, today on ESPN tonight, the Yankees play the Washington Nationals. They're going to finish a game they started yesterday, got rained out. That'll start at 4 o'clock today. And then at 6 o'clock, it is CC Sabathia versus Max Scherzer. And that's on ESPN tonight, channel 601. Taking a look at the playoffs, game 3 of the Western Conference Finals in the NHL. It's Winnipeg Jets at the Vegas Golden Knights. That's at 8 o'clock on NBC Sports Network, channel 216. That series tied at 1 game apiece. And game 2 of the Western Conference Finals in the NBA as well. Golden State leads 1-0. That game on TNT, channel 633, also starting at 8 p.m. this evening. What do you think about the Warriors and the Warriors and the
Rockets?
Rockets.
Yeah, it's going to be a great series. Looking forward to it.
You think the Golden State looked really good? They might just blow them out.
Yeah, I really think that Golden State, when they put it all together, is by far the best team. I shouldn't say by far, but is the best team in the NBA. So we'll see what happens. I think they're going to win the series and they'll win the NBA championship. Did
you get a chance to, after I talked to you yesterday, did you get a chance to watch Draymond Green?
No, I didn't. I didn't have a chance to do that, but it's on my to-do list.
It should be. It should be. Draymond Green establishing his, making sure the folks respect his authority in the NBA conference finals. We'll be back in just a minute with Chris Simpson here on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Thanks for watching. Back in a sec.
Come see us at Anthony's Wild West in downtown Flora.
Enjoy salad, pizza, and pasta buffet 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday. Not hungry for pizza? Our menu features a variety of food for every taste.
Our dining room is large and spacious for 2 or a crowd. Let us help you host a private party in one of our banquet rooms. Visit the Fallout Shelter to have a drink with good friends. Then try your luck at one of our 5 gaming machines. See you soon in the Wild West.
Welcome to Clay County Hospital. Clay County Hospital and Clinics offer the best in services and care in the area with a staff that strives to provide the very best in patient-centered care. We offer full hospital services including radiology, therapy, surgery, labs, and emergency services. Our clinics located in Flora, Louisville, and Clay City allow us to reach out to Clay County residents so that you never have to go far from home for your healthcare needs. In addition to our regular provider staff, we also offer affiliated specialty provider services at our Flora clinic. Finally, have a minor injury or illness but don't want to wait for an appointment? Our walk-in, no appointment clinic hours in Flora are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon. Make Clay County Hospital your number one choice for healthcare, convenient and close to home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple, to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust. Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
My name is Rose. Smoking caused my lung cancer. I was on chemo and radiation. They took part of my lung out, and they put this in me to drain the fluid. Every day I prayed that they would remove it. My tip is be careful what you wish for. That chest tube hurt a lot more coming out than it did going in.
Morning, folks. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I am Bruce Dickey. That is Chris Simpson. Appreciate you tuning in today. Full disclosure, I do know Chris Simpson. I do know where the bodies are buried, but on the other hand, he knows where mine are.
I know where yours are too. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's great to see you.
Thanks,
Thanks
Bruce.
very much for coming on here. Hey, what do you think of the studio? The enormous, gigantic studio. Are you proud of me?
You've done well.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
I
And it's actually, I should say that, as you mentioned, that you and I go back a ways.
A little.
But it's in order to have a chance to actually visit with you, being such a busy person that you are and so involved, that I actually have to come onto your show just for a chance to shoot the breeze with you.
True. This is true. It's the first time we've talked in about 6 months. So it's wonderful to see here. So I understand. Mm-hmm. Chris, by the way, is the assistant superintendent of the Richland County School District, and you've had that gig for how long?
This is my third year. It's my third year. Bruce, this is my 30th year in education.
Really? Does that include kindergarten and first through 12?
Well, I should say this.
K through 12?
It's because we're talking about education, and that's really, I guess, what I know about, except for 1980s MBA, which I understand we're going to get to a little bit later.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
But one of the, as it relates to education, it's a big week at our house because I have a son that is graduating from high school.
How about that?
On
When's
Sunday.
that?
Sunday. So yeah, it's a big week for us. He had his last day of high school. In fact, it's his last day of high school, and we were asking him yesterday, "Hey, this is your last day. What do you think?" Oh, okay. He said, "This is 13 years."
It's because he's planning on going to college.
This is 13 years of school, and this is the last day of it. Yeah, so he's very even-keeled. So that trait will serve him well.
That's exactly right.
Going forward. But we thought we might have a little more excitement out of him being his last day of school.
But
baccalaureate tonight.
The boy has never been very excitable.
He's not very, very even-keeled, so that's a good thing.
That's Cole.
That's Cole.
How's Cole doing, by the way? Making sure, because there's some folks here who probably know he had an accident a couple of years ago.
Right. It'll be 2 years in June, so doing very well. Yeah,
Good.
We're very proud of him. He was a great student. Finishing off high school and then going on to college.
Where's the plan?
He is planning to go to Greenville University.
Really?
My alma mater. Very excited about that.
You would have thought that you would have talked him out of that.
No, actually, his mother might think that I talked him into it. But no, excited about what's in store for him. Our daughter is just finished her sophomore year at the University of Illinois in Springfield. So she's having a great experience there. And we'll just have our youngest son, Keen, who is finishing his freshman year in high school, will be the only one at home.
Lovely wife, Michelle.
Yeah. And Michelle is a teacher at our elementary school, actually is the librarian at the elementary school in Olney.
Has Michelle, or you for that matter, begun feeling the empty nest syndrome? It's not quite empty yet with the youngest still there, right?
Right. In fact, we're excited that we're going to be able to shower all of our attention on just him, on just Keen.
You know, I got to tell you.
He's excited about that possibility.
I got to tell you, that doesn't sound true at all.
No. We'll give him his space. We'll give him his space.
That's
but it's going to be different.
You've got 3 teenagers, or you had 3 teenagers.
Right.
Now Haley's probably 20, right?
Be 20 next week.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'll be, and Cole will be 18 on Friday, so it'll be 20, 18, and 15.
You've had 3 teenagers. Are they a struggle? I don't have children.
Right.
As you know. Yeah. Are they a struggle like, everybody talks about teenagers and that kind of thing?
Well, and
is it a different, does your professional training as a teacher help as a parent?
I hoped it would.
Apparently not.
I hope that it would. But yeah, it's interesting because, as I mentioned, this is my 30th year in education. Most of it spent with high school. The last 3 years, as I moved from high school principal to assistant superintendent, there's a little bit more separation, of course, between the daily interaction with students and that role. But having spent 15 years as a teacher, all these years, 27 years working in a high school for the most part, I've had a lot of experience working with teenagers.
Yeah.
That's very different than living with teenagers.
Well, I'm sure. Well, see, that's the thing. Working with teenagers, you're able to leave them.
Right. So it I guess in some respects it was good preparation, but it's not the same as living with them. But we're really fortunate. Our 3 are really good. They're good kids, strong students, fun to be around. Right. So I attribute that more to their mother than to me.
Don't we all?
So yes.
All right. The reason I brought up other than to tell everybody who you are, the assistant superintendent of Richland County School District, I understand that to not a majority, but to a plurality of folks in well, maybe I'm using that word. A nice number of folks in Richland County, you are public enemy number 1.
I hope not. I hope not.
No, I'm just teasing. Chris was one of the main points of information for the recent sales tax increase in Richland County, right?
Right. So in the March 20th election, the voters in Richland County approved the 1% sales tax, what is officially known as the county school facilities tax.
Okay.
What that is the opportunity to add the additional up to 1%. You can actually do it in quarter increments, so it can be 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, or 1%.
So it hasn't been installed yet?
Actually goes into effect July 1.
Okay.
So
how much did you put in?
It's 1%.
Oh, okay.
So
and you, the county, the governing body.
Right. So how this process works is the Board of Education passes a resolution that it's going to go on the ballot, and then it goes to the voters, and the voters either give it their approval or not. In Richland County, it was approved. It was so that was in March 20th, on March 20th at the election. So it'll go into effect, and you'll actually start to see it starting July 1st.
How long did the whole process take for the conception of let's put in a sales tax to getting it on the ballot, to getting to the primary, to getting it actually going, to getting your first check from the county?
Yeah, it's really a very lengthy process. So I think it's important for people to know, and particularly as we're thinking about it in terms of Richland County, I don't know what other counties have done or how they've approached this. We actually started this process about 1.5 years prior to the election. And it didn't start as a 1% sales tax. What it started as was our Board of Education was really interested in looking at a long-term facilities plan. Because what we know within our school district, we have a middle school that is a state-of-the-art school. It was actually built in 1976, but it was completely gutted and renovated in 2009. It's a state-of-the-art facility. You walk into it and you think, wow, this is a modern 21st century school. our elementary school was opened in January of 2000, so it's approaching 20 years of age at this point. And then you have our high school, which was built in 1952.
I was thinking it was probably
extremely well maintained, and that's why we're looking at a renovation, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. But the school district knows that we have these facilities. Some of them are newer, some are older, and looking at a long-range facility plan. What are we going to do with a high school building that is approaching 70 years of age? As we begin to think about that, we know that the elementary school is approaching 20 years of age, and it's going to begin to need attention as well. So it started about a year and a half ago looking at what is the long-range facility plan for the school district to be able to maintain and keep our facilities up to date.
Over the course of the year and a half between the concept and the election, did tempers flare ever, or was it pretty civil the whole time?
Oh, it was very civil, because what ended up happening was our Board of Education then in December, January of the previous year put together a group of citizens in the community. They eventually developed the name called FACS, which is Facility Advisory Citizens for Tomorrow's Students, and their purpose was...
Hey, that's half the battle, getting a good acronym.
It is. It was very good.
That's a good acronym.
So this Facility Advisory Group, made up of about 25 or so people in the community, a very broad representation of people in the community, came together, and they began to study our facilities and then ultimately put together these larger community engagement sessions where we invited all of the community. And we had several hundred people that attended these meetings over the course of would have been the starting in the spring of 17 and then finishing up in the fall of 17.
So it sounds like transparency is quite one of the keys to this.
We feel like that we were very transparent in this process, and it didn't start out as this idea of a 1% sales tax. What it began was a long-range facility plan. What do we need to do
how do we fund it?
But then it became, okay, this is what we think we need to do. What's the funding mechanism to be able to do this?
Well,
so then the group ultimately made a report, this FACS group made a report to the Board of Education. We think that with your long-range facility plan, the evidence shows that the high school certainly needs to be the priority. It's the oldest building.
Yeah.
It's approaching 70 years of age. So that needs to be your priority for your long-range facility plan. And second is the funding system for this. We need to look at pursuing the 1% sales tax as a funding system.
Because you don't know what's going on with the state for grants or anything like that.
Well, and the commitment for this, too, was to be able to address this renovation of the high school without impacting the property tax rate.
Well, that's the way property taxes are in Illinois. That's a very, very important aspect of it.
So anyway, with that, we felt like that it was a very community-centered, county-wide. I mean, we had representation from all over Richland County that were part of the FACS group, as well as attending our community engagement sessions.
All right, I got to ask then, when does the first check get cut?
It'll be in the fall, either October or November.
Okay. Just wondering. That's Chris Simpson. I'm Bruce Dickey. We're going to talk about a wide variety of things. Talking about education, talking about a few other things. We'll get back here on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey on Wabash Catch TV. Back after these.
It's my choice. It's my choice. It's my choice.
So many of our county residents have treatment or surgeries done at larger hospitals. What they don't always realize is that they have a choice to select where they can have physical therapy or any number of post-operative treatments and follow-ups. Clay County Hospital is your choice. Talk with your specialist, surgeon, or primary care provider and let them know that you want to stay close to family, friends, and most importantly, home.
Clay County Hospital, your #1 choice in healthcare.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians, and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Come see us at Anthony's Wild West in downtown Flora.
Enjoy salad, pizza, and pasta buffet 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday. Not hungry for pizza? Our menu features a variety of food for every taste.
Our dining room is large and spacious for 2 or a crowd. Let us help you host a private party in one of our banquet rooms. Visit the Fallout Shelter to have a drink with good friends. Then try your luck at one of our gaming machines. See you soon in the Wild West.
Your call is very important to us. Please hold. Your call will be answered in the order it was received.
Tired of paying a big faceless company for your local telephone service in Flora? Now you can easily switch your 662 telephone number to Wabash Communications in Flora. That's right, Wabash can now provide local phone service to the Flora area, and yes, you can keep your 662 telephone number. It's available to both business and residential customers. Call us today at 662-3636. Wabash, your local telecommunications provider.
I'm Brian. I was in the military for 18 years. I joined the service so I can serve my country and see the world. But I smoked, and I got heart disease. So a lot of the world I got to see looked like this. My tip is, it's hard to serve your country when you're too weak to put on your uniform.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple, to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
Welcome back, Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I am Bruce Dickey. Do appreciate you tuning in today. My guest is Chris Simpson. We are talking about education stuff, Richland County for the most part, but I always kind of like to get a wide variety of opinions and how people do things because it gives folks an idea.
I have opinions on lots of things, so I'll be happy to share those.
Yes, you do, Chris. Yes, absolutely do. All right. So you've got this. The sales tax kicks in July 1st.
Right.
Thank heavens it's after June, because I'll be done with my band commitment up there.
That's right. During the month of June, the Cummins Band in Olney.
I got Don Graham coming on the show next week.
Oh, good.
He's fired up.
Great. Actually, a plug for Olney with regards to music in the summer. Not only do you have the Cummins Band, which you are a part of, that plays at the band shell in the Olney City Park.
That's right.
But also at Bower Park, which is a little small park on Whittle Avenue in Olney, has what they call their Sounds of Summer series. They're Thursday night concerts by local bands and different groups. I'm surprised the Roasted Chestnuts haven't been invited.
I have not
to perform, but I'll
should I give you a card to give to somebody?
I'll pass that on. Yeah, send me a card and I'll pass it on to the appropriate people.
Is it a paying gig or a free gig?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just go listen. But in Bower Park, a little park in Whittle Avenue.
That's the one
on Whittle Avenue in Olney.
South of the courthouse?
Yeah, so south of the courthouse on Whittle Avenue.
Yeah.
So before you get to the post office, if you're familiar with how Olney is laid out with Main Street and Whittle Avenue. But it's on Thursdays during the summer. So that'll
all
be really
summer
fun.
long or what?
The only time it's the week of the county fair. They're not doing it, but pretty much June and July.
Okay.
Except for county fair week.
All right.
Yeah. So if you like music, Olney's the place in the summertime.
Olney's the place. It's the hotbed of music. And speaking of music, is part of the renovation going to be to rebuild the band room or what? Tell me about the renovations to the high school. What is planned?
Right. So as I mentioned,
by the way, I hadn't been to the high school in Olney until this past winter for the first time in about 15, 20 years.
Right.
And maybe 15 years. And I got lost trying to find a bathroom. Couldn't find a bathroom on the one side of it.
It is a big building. So before I get into the actual plans, I did want to follow up, too, because we were talking about our community engagement process.
Yes.
And I think that is really key because having lived in Olney and Richland County for really close to 30 years now.
Yeah.
One of the things.
Noble and Olney.
Right. So one of the things that I've appreciated about that community, and I think most communities throughout Southern Illinois are like this, in that they're very supportive of their local schools. They value education, and if you go to the people and you lay your case out and you tell people this is what we really need, you're upfront and honest with them, and a very transparent process, I think that for the most part, people are supportive of that. Now, whether that means that they're going to pass a 1% sales tax increase to fund school facilities, or they're going to do whatever it might possibly be to help support the schools, I think that by and large, communities throughout Southern Illinois are like that.
Yeah.
I certainly know that Richland County, in my experience, has been like that. So I think that process of really trying to engage the community and getting input, and ultimately that's what led to the idea of the 1% sales tax increase, allowed us to be able to pass that and be successful with it.
So what are how do you update a 70-year-old school building?
In phases.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. So really the plan comes down to, and should mention that we have a 70-year-old high school. The architectural firm that we're working with tells us that structurally it's built like a tank. I mean, it is a really well-constructed building, has been very well maintained over the years, which makes it a very good candidate for a renovation, as opposed to, because a question that oftentimes is asked, well, if you're going to do this renovation that is so expensive, why don't you build a new school? Well,
that's the question.
So which is
the same thing.
Which is a great question. But if you look at schools that would be comparable in size to us, up the road from Olney, you have Paris, which is probably just a little bit smaller than us. A student population near 700.
Mattoon's probably close.
Mattoon's bigger, but I was using the two examples of Paris, a little smaller, and Mount Vernon, a few hundred larger.
Yeah.
So the cost, if you go from the cost of Paris High School, which was $60 million plus.
They just built a new one?
3 years ago.
Okay.
Mount Vernon, which built a new one, which my understanding is the cost was somewhere between 80 and 85 million.
And wasn't done.
Of Mount Vernon. So you figure that the cost, if we wanted to build a new high school, was going to be certainly $65, $70 million was probably an appropriate estimate for that. Well, nobody had an appetite for that. Plus, I mentioned earlier that the goal of our facility advisory was whatever we did, we didn't want to impact the property tax rate.
And that would have.
Oh my gosh, there's no way. You couldn't have possibly done that.
Even with state grant, you're going to.
You're going to.
And you can look at Wayne City.
Yeah, so you're going to have to really impact your property tax rate to be able to address that. So it didn't seem like the wisest course of action when you had a facility that our architectural firm is telling us is a very good candidate for a renovation. So it's a very bold renovation plan. Admittedly, it's an ambitious plan. It's about a $25 million renovation.
That's a nice deal.
And going to occur in phases. The first phase will include some new construction within the school.
What's the length of the term of the plan?
Well, we hope to start next summer. So we would be doing some preparation.
So you're building up funds.
Right. So we would begin this process in really spring of 2019, really starting in earnest in the summer of 2019, and a renovation with the new construction and the renovation. You're talking about start to finish a 5 to 6 year process to get that completed.
Well, these things takes time, and people aren't moving from Olney. You've got the school is when you started there, the number of students at Olney was probably 500, and now it's 800.
No, right now the student population after the annexation is probably right now around 740 or so in the high school.
At the high school,
right?
Yeah.
Total student population in the district, if we look at pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, about 2,450 students total.
Wow. In 5 years, that'll blow by faster than you think.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. Yeah, well, but we're really excited about it, and I should say that the goal of the high school renovation, we really wanted to capture three primary objectives. One was to improve safety and security.
Yeah, right.
In 1952,
now give me all three because I'm going to break.
Okay, safety and security was one. Accessibility.
Okay.
And then creating a more modern 21st century learning environment.
There you go.
Those were the three priority areas.
We'll talk a little bit maybe about that as well as some other things going on at Olney. Or pardon me. Richland County High School. That's my bad. It was Olney when we played them. Doggone it.
They were East Richland officially, but Olney. Okay.
30 years ago, it was East Richland.
It was East Richland. Yes, but we called it Olney.
It was Olney. It was Olney. We'll be back in just a second here on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey in Salem on Channel 3, here in Flora on Channel 100 and Channel 25, and we'll be back right after these.
Welcome to Clay County Hospital. Clay County Hospital and Clinics offer the best in services and care in the area with a staff that strives to provide the very best in patient-centered care. We offer full hospital services including radiology, therapy, surgery, labs, and emergency services. Our clinics located in Flora, Louisville, and Clay City allow us to reach out to Clay County residents so that you never have to go far from home for your healthcare needs. In addition to our regular provider staff, we also offer affiliated specialty provider services at our Flora clinic. Finally, have a minor injury or illness but don't want to wait for an appointment? Our walk-in, no-appointment clinic hours in Flora are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon. Make Clay County Hospital your number one choice for healthcare, convenient and close to home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
Come see us at Anthony's Wild West in downtown Flora.
Enjoy salad, pizza, and pasta buffet 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday. Not hungry for pizza? Our menu features a variety of food for every taste.
Our dining room is large and spacious for two or a crowd. Let us help you host a private party in one of our banquet rooms. Visit the Fallout Shelter to have a drink with good friends. Then try your luck at one of our 5 gaming machines. See you soon in the Wild West.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone services required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
My name is Brett, and I used to smoke. I quit, but not until I got a serious gum disease. My tip to you is, your smile says a lot about you. What does this say?
Your call is very important to us. Please hold. Your call will be answered in the order it was received.
Tired of paying a big faceless company for your local telephone service in Flora? Now you can easily switch your 662 telephone number to Wabash Communications in Flora. That's right, Wabash can now provide local phone service to the Flora area, and yes, you can keep your 662 telephone number. It's available to both business and residential customers. Call us today at 662-3636. Wabash, your local telecommunications provider.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I'm Bruce Dickey. That's Chris Simpson. We do appreciate you tuning in today. We're talking about all kinds of different things, mainly, though, over at Richland County High School, Richland County Schools. And Richland County Schools has developed a program that I don't think that, and I don't ask around, but I don't know how many other schools in this area have a cultural exchange program like you have at Richland County. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's something that we really enjoy doing. I've been really involved with this process from the beginning, and it actually goes back about 10 years ago. The school district, the high school, received a grant. Marilyn Holt was our superintendent at the time, and this was an area that she was very interested in. And we received a grant from the University of Illinois to become an international high school.
Okay.
And through that, we were really looking at ways that we could broaden the experiences of our students and broaden their perspective from a global standpoint for this. And then we ultimately had this opportunity to partner with a school in Gars, Germany.
How did you and the school in Gars, Germany get connected?
Well, there's a fairly substantial German presence in Olney, mostly from the bicycle industry that existed. So there were some people that were native Germans that lived in Olney. They had some connections. There was actually then the principal of the school in Gars, is called Gars Gymnasium, or Gymnasium Gars.
Gymnasium Gars is the name of the school. It's not just a gym. It's a school.
Yeah, apparently, when they say gymnasium, they're not talking about a basket at each end.
Like I say, did they have when you went and visited? Did they have the little roller skate roller boards?
They did not.
That's usually what I think with a gym.
So when the principal of the high school, of the school, it's actually a grades 5 through 12 school. Okay. Had actually been at a high school previous that had a partnership with Vincennes.
Oh, okay.
Which is just 30 miles straight east of Olney. So he was familiar with the area, and he moved to a new school, and he began looking for a partner. And through some connections, it's a small world we live in now. I mean, smaller all the time. Yeah. And through that, he was able to make these connections, and we were a willing partner. So we have actually had students that have gone, starting in 2011 was our first trip. So we have had 4 groups of students go over.
You have a group each every other year.
Every other year. And the off
send
year,
a group over here.
The off year, right. So this was the 4th time that they had students come over to us. They just were here in March. And then they left Actually, they flew back on Easter Sunday. They'd gone back to Chicago and had a direct flight from Chicago to Munich. So,
what are you finding what are the conclusions of these?
Right.
Are the kids getting anything out of it, or are they just getting a free trip to Germany or a paid trip to Germany? It's not free.
It's not free. No, it's not a free trip to Germany. No, it's what we find is the cultural differences are interesting. And there are those, and whether you are the person that is going to stay there as opposed to those that are coming here. But the difference, what I've learned, because I made the trip to Germany
a couple years ago.
So it'd been the summer of, was it 2015? I guess. And I made that trip with 20 high school students. And it's funny because one of the things I heard from people, and it was just not me, it was myself and 2 other adults from our school and 20 high school students. They would say, "How was your vacation to Germany?" You've never traveled internationally with 20 high school students, have you? It was no vacation. Now, it was a fantastic experience for myself as well as the students, but it's no vacation when you take 20 students on an international trip like that.
I suspect there's some responsibility involved.
But what you find is, because you are living there with them, and the idea is a cultural exchange, you're not a tourist. Right. You're doing what the locals do, which is such a different experience than being a tourist someplace. And that's what I think is really good, and that's the same when they come here.
Did you go sit in classrooms or anything like that?
They do. And, of course, a large part of it is that our students are at their school. Their students are at our school. They're taking classes. It's a little bit different because the German students are fluent in English. Our students are not fluent in German, but so much of what's happening there is in English.
Tell me, were there any culture shocks? Were the German kids, when they've come over, what's their largest shock of just realization that they didn't know something?
Right. Probably the biggest thing, just looking at it from an education standpoint, is that in Germany, once you get to grade 5, you go one of 3 different directions. And the gymnasium is the top level of education. So if you graduate from the gymnasium, the school, then you go to college for free.
Really?
the other two are more of a career focus track. So these other two, and there's ability for students to move in and out of those tracks. But for the most part, if you, the gymnasium is their top level. If you look at tiers, the top tier of education.
It's not like everybody going to the same system.
So in Gars, which is the town in Bavaria where the high school is located, is where the high school is. But the students are coming from towns and villages and small communities from all around that area. And because they don't have the extracurricular activities that go around with that, the high school doesn't serve as the hub of lots of the social activity that is taking place as it does in Southern Illinois.
No,
so, I mean, if you take whether you're looking at Flora, Olney, Fairfield, so much of the social activity of students centers around high school activities.
Right, prom,
your athletic activities,
football,
your various clubs and organizations, social events that you might have. There are all of those. Well, those aren't really part of the school districts there. And the students are coming from so many different locations, plus the fact that they don't get their driver's license until they're 18. So they're not really able to...
Wait a minute. Right. Stop it a second.
Right.
They are able to go to bars at 16. I guess that's smart.
Well, you want to talk about cultural differences.
That's what I was talking about.
There's one of them right there.
But I guess that...
So as a result, when they come here, one of the things that's really interesting to them is just the fact that there's so much happening in and around the school. And of course, it varies depending on the time of year. We've mentioned to them, they always come in the spring because they want to coordinate it around their spring break so they're not missing as much school.
Right. And you guys go in summertime because their school year is different.
Their school year goes until the 1st of August.
Right.
So we'll go in June and there's still plenty of school year left for them. But because of the fact that the high school serves as so much a hub of the activity in and around the students' lives, it's not that way there. So that's a major difference.
Answer the question. Give me a culture shock. What was to you or to your kids, yours and your kids, not your kids, but the kids you took over, or the Germans? What was the biggest shock to anybody?
Probably for the students that are coming here, one of the things that they find, and of course is a concern, is that there are so many activities that, as I mentioned, that involve the school. But one of the concerns that they have is the idea, I think a lot of people in Europe, Germany in particular, they think everyone's carrying a gun.
Really?
In Southern Illinois.
They see the Westerns and stuff.
That's a concern. Well, they also see the news because, unfortunately, you have acts of violence as well as whether they be within a school or somewhere else, and those that involve a gun. So there's a concern there, and they get here and they realize that it's not that way. It's not the Wild West, and while
it's
guns are part of the culture here, it's not something that is as pervasive as they thought it might be.
How about your kids heading over there? Food?
Well, the food was terrific.
Yeah.
The food was really good.
Now that's the other thing. Your kids might not realize till they go over there. The people are people wherever you go.
Well, I think that's the big takeaway, is that what connects us and what makes us the same is so much greater than anything that divides us. Yeah. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways that the people have. And when you start talking, in fact, I was visiting with some of the parents when I was there, and some of the issues that they were dealing with there was the question of fracking.
Oh, really?
Same as here.
Yeah.
That was a topic they were kind of wrestling with, and there were opposing views about the issue of fracking. Another issue, because it's a very rural area where we are, and agriculture is a dominant part of the economy, but the farms are much smaller.
Yeah.
A big issue that they're dealing with are GMOs, the genetically modified crops, and how that applies, because it is a global marketplace when you look at agriculture, and that's a big topic. So some of the things that are issue, legalization of marijuana too. That was a big topic over there. Really? So
what are they doing in Germany?
The issues are the same. I'm really not sure what their solution is. But
did somebody pass you a tube?
No,
I mean that's the question.
That was it was just a topic of discussion.
Well, I just was wondering, but overall quite successful.
It's been a great program. But I was mentioning during the break that a cultural exchange is not for every student. I mean, some students love the idea of immersing themselves in another culture for that period of time and having those experiences.
Sure.
Other students are not. So
well, that's why different strokes for different folks.
It is, and hopefully what you find, and that's one of the things that I think the students that come here really like about the American educational system, is there are all of these different opportunities for students to explore and get connected and feel a sense of belonging within a school, because you have all of these different ways, whether it be a cultural exchange program or something else.
That's Chris Simpson. I'm going to pull his string one more time. When we come back, you're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. That's Chris Simpson. I'm Bruce Dickey, and we'll be back right after these.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Welcome to Clay County Hospital. Clay County Hospital and Clinics offer the best in services and care in the area, with a staff that strives to provide the very best in patient-centered care. We offer full hospital services including radiology, therapy, surgery, labs, and emergency services. Our clinics located in Flora, Louisville, and Clay City allow us to reach out to Clay County residents so that you never have to go far from home for your healthcare needs. In addition to our regular provider staff, we also offer affiliated specialty provider services at our Flora clinic. Finally, have a minor injury or illness but don't want to wait for an appointment? Our walk-in, no-appointment clinic hours in Flora are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. until noon. Make Clay County Hospital your number one choice for healthcare, convenient and close to home.
Clay County Hospital, your number one choice in healthcare.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only, with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Come see us at Anthony's Wild West in downtown Flora.
Enjoy salad, pizza, and pasta buffet 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday. Not hungry for pizza? Our menu features a variety of food for every taste.
Our dining room is large and spacious for two or a crowd. Let us help you host a private party in one of our banquet rooms. Visit the Fallout Shelter to have a drink with good friends. Then try your luck at one of our 5 gaming machines. See you soon in the Wild West.
I'm Brian. I was in the military for 18 years. I joined the service so I can serve my country and see the world. But I smoked, and I got heart disease. So a lot of the world I got to see looked like this. My tip is, it's hard to serve your country when you're too weak to put on your uniform.
Your call is very important to us. Please hold. Your call will be answered in the order it was received.
Tired of paying a big faceless company for your local telephone service in Flora? Now you can easily switch your 662 telephone number to Wabash Communications in Flora. That's right, Wabash can now provide local phone service to the Flora area, and yes, you can keep your 662 telephone number. It's available to both business and residential customers. Call us today at 662-3636. Wabash, your local telecommunications provider.
Not for beginners.
Yeah, well, that's cool. No, I haven't seen it. Chris is giving me his. He's giving me beverage advice. As I do need it. I do need beverage advice. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I'm Bruce Dickey. That's Chris Simpson, and we're talking about a wide variety of things. All right, I would need to hear your NBA expertise.
Okay.
Give me the 80s NBA. This is all you've been wanting to talk about.
80s NBA.
The 1980s NBA. Who was better, the Boston Celtics or the LA Lakers?
Oh, without a doubt, the Lakers.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, the Lakers. Well, they won 5 championships in the 80s.
Who's the best player in the 1980s?
Larry Bird.
Really?
I will say Larry Bird. Yes.
Who's the best player in the 1970s?
Kareem.
Okay. I couldn't believe you didn't say Kareem for the 1980s.
Yeah, it was. I'm gonna say it was Bird for the 80s. Kareem was really good in the 80s. Don't get me wrong, but he was nearing the latter part of his career. Although he had a lengthy career, which is amazing because you and I are the same age.
That's correct.
51.
Yes.
And Kareem played well into his, at least a 40.
He played till he's 40. No, 44 or something like that.
How is that even possible?
I have no idea.
Physically, to be able to do that, or even when you think about some of the Major League Baseball players that are playing to that age. But thankfully, we'll be off camera when I get out of this chair and people won't see
us stand up.
How is that even possible for them to be able to sustain that?
Do you like
for that amount of time?
Do you like? I know the level of play is, and the talent level is a lot higher in the 2010s than it was in the 1980s. Did you enjoy the style of play better in the 1980s than the 2010s? It's two different, widely different things.
It is. No, I like the style of play from that era better. And I would say the same thing if you look at college basketball. I like the style of play during that time better than it is now. In fact, just as an example, the games has changed so much over the years.
Well, he knows what he speaks, former college basketball player.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what level you're looking at. If you're looking at the professional level, college level, even different levels within college, high school, the game has changed, and a lot of the changes have been really fun changes and things that have helped the game move forward because things have to continue to move forward. But there's no doubt the game has changed, and whether it's the NBA game, I prefer the 80s. Maybe that's just nostalgia.
Did the rule changes that over the course of the defensive changes over the course of from the 80s to the 2010s, where you got to play hands off quite a bit more? Did that force the game to be more wide open now, or did they follow that? Was the game becoming more wide open, and the defenses had to take to make the same changes?
Well, I think you see that trend of the game being more wide open, the floor being spaced. You're looking at layups or 3-point shots, and kind of the idea of the mid-range shot. But it's at all levels that you're doing that, so it makes sense that you're seeing that at the pro level.
You're talking about the floor being spaced, like last night's Cleveland Cavaliers against the Boston Celtics. When Cleveland was playing defense, that floor was widely spaced.
Right.
Because they weren't playing defense, at least in the second half.
So, it's just interesting to see how, just with anything that takes place, and I mentioned earlier that 30 years in education, it's been really interesting to see how that has changed over the years.
Yeah, tell me about that, because you're a former basketball coach.
But the same thing happens with whatever it is. I mean, things are going to evolve and change. The one thing that you know is a constant is going to be change, and you can embrace it and look for ways to continue to innovate and leverage that, or you can complain about it and think that I'm going to not
I'm not changing
and see how far that gets you.
Well, yeah, that's probably not going to get you all that very far to start with, I guess, or get you out into a new profession, probably.
But with regards to education, you ask about how has that changed. I think that what we find now, the focus on being much more inclusive of students is a major change. That, of course, that existed 30 years ago, but prior to that,
anti-bullying and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's certainly a focus on that was necessary. It's not as if people were prior to that were promoting it, but you might be more likely to turn a blind eye to it. But also, I think the idea that and this is going to sound kind of strange, that there is a greater focus on student learning, because I think there was a time in years past where the philosophy was my job as the teacher is to teach. Your job as a student is to learn. If you're not learning it, then that's kind of your problem. And now the focus is much more, if students aren't learning, we're taking very specific steps and those things would happen at time, but it wasn't systematic and focused as it is right now, because we know that every student that is not achieving at the highest level that student possibly can, the impact that's going to have on that student long term is going to be pretty significant. So
that's Chris Simpson. Thank you very much for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
That's a Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We'll talk to y'all again tomorrow. Have a great, great day.